Hello everyone, I'm Tim from Tim's PC and I build custom PCs to suit anyone's needs or budget. Also live stream my builds and repairs for transparency and educational purposes. So if you'd like to get an awesome new PC and you'd like to see it get put together live, send me a message today. Alright, so tonight we have an all AMD experience for you. So we have the flagship AMD Radeon graphics card here, the RX 7900 XTX, and we've got, pardon me, we've got the Ryzen 5800X 3D. Oh, sorry.
You right?
Sorry, I'm just burping because I had a heap of iced tea before I started. I sculled a heap, and I think there's some water in there. I'm starting to talk. Sorry. Anyway, we've got the Ryzen 5800X 3D 8-core 16-thread CPU. It's got the 3D V cache, so there's a bit of a gaming performance with that compared to the normal 7800X. It's because of all the extra cache on the CPU, basically. Anyway, so we've also got the MSI B650M Mortar Wi-Fi motherboard, a 32GB kit of Corsair 6000 MHz CL36 memory. We have a 1TB silicon power NVMe SSD. We've got an 850 watt Gigabyte 80 plus gold power supply there with the 10-year warranty. We have a Deepcool LT520 all-in-one liquid cooler, and we're going to be putting it in the Deepcool Matrax 50 case. So quite a good build here tonight. I'm excited to see how it goes, and this customer's actually been waiting a little while for this, so yeah, good to get it done. Yeah, absolutely.
Nicholas says good morning.
Hey Nicholas, how you going? Like, I do run with a 96-hour turnaround, but I don't include the weekends in that 96 hours. It's like 96 business hours. So if you pay on like a Thursday, potentially you might have to wait more than 96 hours. It's just how it sort of goes down.
George says hi there to him.
Hey George, how you going? Good to have you with us. Alrighty, here she is. 7800X3D. What an absolute weapon. So obviously we've got our new LGA style socket for our AMD CPUs now. So LGA stands for Land Grid Array, which is basically referring to the CPU socket type. So traditional AMD CPUs had pins on the bottom. New AMD CPUs are like Intel, and they have touchpads on the bottom, and the pins are actually on the motherboard. So it makes it, it makes it a little bit different. But I think that the future is Land Grid Array. There was there was definitely some there was definitely some issues there. Oh, I had it the right way. Bloody DDR5. I'm still not completely used to it. The divider in the middle there is more centered, so I can't sort of easily see which side is shorter. It's kind of hard. Is there? Oh look, there is two.
That says
Yeah, no, it's a good case. It's good value. It's got the 4 addressable RGB fans pre-installed, and then you can fit a 240mm all-in-one liquid cooler up top. So yeah, happy days. And yeah, the six fan design is a really tried and true design for a case. 3 cool air intake fans on the front, and then 2 on the top, 1 on the back. So you've got basically the volume of air being pushed in the case equal to the volume of air being pushed out of the case. Okay, so now we'll do our M2 drive. So we'll use this bottom slot just so it's easy for Christian to add another SSD in the future if he wants. And so if you're wondering what Silicon Power SSD this is the UD80. So this is the faster version. It's been on special. So it's been as cheap as the normal Silicon Power SSD that I've used quite a lot of. So we've got our sticky here on the thermal pad. So obviously just make sure you get rid of that. Very good. So we've got those 3 installed. Now it's time for our cooler. Yes, yeah, this is a good one tonight. So I think money's a little bit tighter this year than it has been in the past. So we're getting more budget to lower mid-range builds. You know, under $2,000 at the moment. But yes, this one is definitely a more expensive one. And we've got another more expensive one coming up. So, you know, the high-end builds still come through, but yeah, it's definitely less than what we had last year. But yeah, that's just the state of the economy right now. Alrighty. Hey Kyle, how you going? Good to have you with us. Okay, so we don't need our Intel backplate. Don't need our Intel bolts. We just need our AMD bolts. So we don't use the standard mounting brackets for this. So they come off. Oop. And then we've got 4 bolts that screw on the bottom here. And these sort of hold the back plate onto the PCB. The PCB is the fancy name for the motherboard. It stands for printed circuit board. Little fun fact for some of you. Some of you will obviously know that, of course. And so this is quite a good little board, this one, the mag mortar. It's got two 8-pin CPU power connectors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fan headers, horizontally orientated USB 3. It's got USB-C. It's got 1, 2, 3 RGB headers, 2 M2 slots, 6 SATA ports, 2 USB 3s. It's got Wi-Fi, it's got USB-C, it's got a total of 8 USB 3.2 and above ports on the back. It's got Sony Philips digital interface or SPI-DIF, so optical audio out. I like to use the optical personally. I find it sort of like a little bit more reliable than Bluetooth. Alright, so you get this block that sort of just comes off there, so just pull that off when you want to attach your mounting brackets. It'll just make it a little bit easier for you. You got pre-applied thermal compound.
That's cool.
Haha, I love it.
Somebody posted it into the PC Master Race page.
Ah, yes. Yeah, I love
like,
that.
nobody appreciates it on my timeline, so I'm hoping my level of cool will be admired.
The thing is, no one knows what it is in your timeline. That's the thing. If you're not a computer person,
No.
you don't know what CMD is. You're just like, huh? Run CMD? Isn't it run DMC? like literally, that's what people on your Facebook are like. Okay. Like I said, just press down with the cooler there, so it creates a bit of surface tension, and then it'll be easy for you to get a couple of bolts on. Doing the surface tension thing will also ensure that your cooler is actually making proper contact with the CPU, and you've definitely used all of the right bolts and stuff to fasten it. So it's a good practice to get into. And if you're building your own PC, I would definitely recommend that little pro tip there. Okay, so we've got our block mounted. So we've got our power cable for the block. power cable in place. Put our block back on there. Very good. So that's just the addressable RGB cable. What's up?
Cameron wants to know, hey Tim, Cameron, just checking to see if this is one of two builds tonight. Yeah, just checking if it's mine. I've got a different CPU.
Different CPU? No, it's not.
No, this is for somebody else.
No, this is Cameron's.
Christian's.
Sorry. Yeah.
It's not Cameron's.
Sorry, did I mix your name up?
I don't know, did you?
I think I've mixed the names up. I'm an idiot. Yeah, it's Cameron, not Christian. I'm talking to another guy named Christian as well, and his last name starts with T. Sorry, Cameron. Yes, this is your PC. I'm so sorry. Ask any of our long-term fans. I am a bit...
Are you using the wrong CPU?
No. No. No, it's not.
Just checking as if it's mine. I got a different CPU.
What do you mean you got a different CPU? Yeah, this is what's on the invoice, dude. 7800X 3D. That's on the invoice. Because you were considering the 7900 and the 7950, but then you decided on the 7800X.
So should I be... Oh, I've written the wrong thing. I fucked up.
Oh, did you fuck up? Did you
Yes.
write 5800X?
I'm so sorry.
Oh, we're both idiots tonight. It's because it's a later night. We're starting later and we're tired.
I'm so sorry. That's me.
We've both... I can't believe that. We've both stuffed up. We have both stuffed up. Let's fix that up.
Yeah,
so this is
I am.
Cameron's PC, and it is a 7800X 3D, not 5800X 3D. I'm so sorry. You're probably having a heart attack.
Probably. He's like, what the fuck?
I'm like, I didn't stuff up. I remember you saying specifically that you decided on the 7800X 3D. And I remember thinking to myself at that time, I'm like, oh, that's a good choice because you're not really getting too much of a performance benefit by spending the extra money. The 7800X 3D is more than good enough. So... And the rumor I've heard is that there's going to be a 5800...
I'm
sorry,
sort of glad you said something, dude, because I wouldn't have fucking known.
we both stuffed up royally tonight. How bad's that? You have the customer having a heart attack. But hey, at least it's entertaining to watch. Bloody hell. I feel so bad.
You said, oh, it's fine, these things happen.
It's a busy time of year. I'm talking to a lot of people, so just cut me a bit of slack. Alright, yes. So it's Cameron and a 7800X 3D. We've definitely got all the right stuff. You can tell because it's a B650M Mortar Wi-Fi and it's an LGA socket. I was talking about that earlier. So 100% definitely got the right CPU.
Jamie says, hey Tim, what price would you think the 7900 XTX should be realistically for a normal buy?
So they're not too expensive. They're a little bit more. They're just a little bit more than a 4070 Ti, like $100 or so more than a 4070 Ti. So they're cheaper than 4080 and way cheaper than 4090. So I don't know. I think the pricing's all right. I mean, have a look at the. I don't think I've done a 7900 XTX yet. So have a look at the benchmark results tonight, I guess. And see what it looks like. Okay. So we got our usual cables to sort out here from the Matrax, and this is, you know, mainly what you pay someone to do, because this is a bit of a fuck around if you're not familiar with doing it. So, look at this mess. Look at all of this. Okay. So, best way to do it, pull off this splitter cable. And then untangle the fans.
Still laughing at myself. I was like, is 5800X 3D an actual thing as well? Like,
Yeah. It's actually, it is legitimately a CPU.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah, don't freak out too much. It's definitely real. They're even going to make a 5800X 3D. Sorry, 5600X 3D. I'm tired, man. I'm tired. Alright, so we've got 3 fans over here. This cable goes to the motherboard, and then we've got one more up here. And so,
How much was this bill? Do you remember?
just a second. This was $34.95. Yeah, so the CPU pushed that cost up a little bit. Alrighty, so just sort of fold those cables up and just kind of like tuck them behind the lip of the case there. And like the same sort of thing for the RGB cables. So if possible, do it without any cable ties, because if you ever have a problem with the fan, it's easier to work with rather than cutting a shitload of cable ties out. The final thing you want to do, if you've got an addressable header on your motherboard, is you want to take out this addressable cable from the little bag of accessories that you get. And then this cable here that says main, you want to unplug that from that little controller up there and plug it into this cable. And then this goes to the motherboard. Alrighty. Alright, so that's starting to look pretty organised. Still some cables everywhere, but see, they give you so much room these days at the back of the case. It makes it so much easier to do the cabling. I remember wasting heaps of time trying to get the cabling right when it was really thin out the back. You had no room, so you had to tie everything down. Alrighty, so after Gamers Nexus completely ruined Gigabyte's reputation for power supplies, they redesigned and refreshed the branding on their power supply and brought out their original power supply, like re-released it. It used to have a, it used to just have a 5-year warranty. Now they've brought it out with a 10-year warranty under their ultra durable brand. So, trying to rectify some of the damage that the Gamers Nexus did to their brand, all over a batch issue that was only in North America. So yes, the businessman and sales manager in me is like going tisk 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 at freaking Gamers Nexus over that. It's very to me it's very irresponsible to do things like that, especially if you've got a massive platform. So yeah.
People on the other side of the world think they've got a bad fucking power supply when they don't.
Yeah, well, like people in Australia were freaking out about not having the power supply being faulty, and me and my colleagues in the Australian PC industry, we have we did a tally about at the height of the controversy. And we did a tally on how many of the same branded power supplies we had sold in Australia, and the number came up to over 600 PCs with these power supplies in them. Some of them up to 2 years in operation with no issues. We had zero returns on them. So you can imagine how we felt seeing the brand being trashed when we were like, hang on, but there's like no problem. We've had no problem with them at all. It's just a batch of them in North America. So but yes, that's all behind us now. We've got the refresh model with the refresh branding, and it should all be fine, especially with that upgraded warranty. Alright. And just one SATA cable, just so we've got some SATA power installed in case Cameron wants to install a hard drive or SSD or anything else that requires SATA power. Alright. Oh, yeah. Okay. So now we just got a couple of offsets to move here. Trust me to frickin' drop it. I think I'm going to sleep well tonight. I don't know, the older I get, I can't sleep for as long. So, put a couple of bolts in our motherboard there. Alright, so we need two CPU power connectors up here. And then yes, get your CPU power cables and just sort of tuck them around the lip of the case there. Once the back panel gets put on, they're just going to sort of stay there long term. The copper inside will sort of get bent into shape. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Hey, who was that? John. Hey John, how you going? Good to have you with us. Yeah, everything's going alright.
Countdown to moving.
Yes. So that's gonna be interesting. So we go from our lovely gigabit internet to something substantially less. So I'm gonna have to. We're going on to NBN fixed wireless. So I'm gonna have to do some pretty creative stuff to get ourselves a good internet connection out there. So what it's going to involve is something I personally don't have a lot of experience with. But I'm going to be getting a high-end router from like Cisco. I don't know if you know if you guys are familiar with the company Cisco, but they're one of the biggest IT companies in the world, and Cisco make like routers, network solutions, Internet of Things solutions, and like sort of turnkey solutions for big businesses and stuff, and setting up their networks and all of that fun stuff. And anyway, they have high tech routers that you can get. So what I can do is I can get multiple NBN fixed wireless connections, and using a Cisco router, I can actually connect them all up in a chain and split my internet traffic over all three of them at the same time. And so that should, with 2 or 3 fixed wireless connections, that should give me a pretty reasonable internet. It won't be gigabit internet like what we've got here, but
it's food.
Yeah, but it's alright. It's alright.
Says you haven't been there that long, have you? He says, I got Starlink, I love it.
He's got Starlink, eh? Yeah, I mean that's an option, but I'm thinking the chained NBN fixed wireless might be a bit more reliable overall. Because it's not so much the speed, it's the ultimate like consistency and reliability of the connection, because I don't want the stream to be all fucked up. There we go. This is all coming along. But yes, we haven't been here. We haven't been here that long. But the thing is, the rent has gone up pretty significantly, and the thing is, Christine's mum, she's got some problems. She's a type. Is it type 1 that's the bad one? Type 1 diabetic. She's a chronic heavy smoker. She's an alcoholic. She doesn't take the best care of herself. And she has had a leg amputated. So it's been over a decade with constant infections in her leg and foot. Refused to quit smoking. All that good stuff. And now, yeah, the leg's gone. So, yeah, happy days.
Not really, but...
No, that's a sarcastic happy days. So, as a result, we're going to move back to the country, which is where we're from. It's where our house is. And we're going to build a granny flat for her, because she's going to go on the NDIS. So the NDIS can help out a little bit with that. So we'll set her up somewhere that she can live, so she can, be taken care of without going into a home so quick, I guess.
So
Yeah.
John says, I was just spot on for living out in like nowhere. And he says, I did game streaming with it and had no problems.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe.
I'm not too far away from civilization. I don't know if you know where Fernvale and Wivenhoe Dam is in Queensland. But that's where our house is. So we've got 7 acres out there, and it's actually a little gem of a property. It's got a spring-fed dam, so we've always got water in the dam. It's got a 3/4 acre tropical fruit orchard, and yeah, it's nice, quiet, plenty of trees. Dead end road. It's got some things going for it, and it's the area still about an hour to Brisbane CBD. So
50 minutes in a good run.
50 minutes if you speed a little bit, I guess.
No, that's in the middle of the day.
That's in the middle of the day?
Peak hour morning traffic, definitely longer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, everything's longer. Everything's longer in the morning.
Mm-mm. John knows where it is. Of course John knows.
Yeah, truck drivers know where things are. So yes, nice little...
Yeah, John says, what the fuck are you still doing? Still living there, then fuck living in the city if you don't have to.
Yeah, I know.
It was for work purposes.
See, I used to be a sales manager for Asahi. Right up until they bought Carlton United. That was during COVID, and that's when the PC thing started picking up, and that's when I started doing, because I've been building PCs for my friends and family my whole life, but I never considered it like a full-time career. I always thought that it would be a little bit too hit and miss, and I could make more money in other areas. But even if I make a little bit less than what I was making at Asahi, at least I get to work from home. I mean, that's
just do something you like.
and it's something I like. I don't have to like.
There's no heavy lifting.
No heavy lifting. No awkward sales meetings to try to convince people to do things. and shit like that. So I mean, it's
no uniform.
Yeah, no uniform. Oh, not that my uniform was too bad.
No.
A nice blue shirt, tan pants, brown shoes. I mean, that's alright.
Still a uniform.
Still a uniform, but like, yeah, I mean, come on. It's not like it's not like the worst freaking uniform. You get to like you get to get dressed every morning and actually look all right. Yeah.
John says they call me a living, breathing map.
A living, breathing map. I love it. I love it. I love geography as well. Me and Christine, we've actually driven around Australia twice. Mm-hmm. One of the times we only sort of got sort of 2/3 of the way around. We started in Brisbane, went down to the snow, up in the snowfields, Perisher, and then we decided that we were having fun on our road trip.
Decided, and I had to call work and ask for more time off.
Yeah, but I knew your boss, so I was able to go. Look, Troy, I'm taking my girlfriend away on a road trip. We're gonna do this. You know you like me. You know you're gonna let me do this.
It's happening whether you like it or not. But yes. That road trip is fun.
Mm-hmm.
You right?
Yeah. Just freaking.
Darren says hi.
Hey Darren, how you going? Good to have you with us.
Cameron says just got the Rob PG 329 today.
Ooh.
Does the PC build justice?
Yes. Oh yeah, it will. Yeah, that's a good monitor, dude. You have picked well. I mean, a good monitor is pretty much just as important as your gaming PC, especially if you're playing like first-person shooter games and games that are sort of defined by how many frames per second you currently get on the screen. So yeah, that's definitely really important. But yeah, for some gamers that don't play FPS games, it's less important because the frame rate's not as important for, you know, like if you're playing Microsoft Flight Simulator, the golf sim games that our golf sims run, that's not too frames per second demanding. Yeah, City Skylines. You know, retro games. There's plenty of gamers out there that don't necessarily need that, so they don't have to spend as much on a monitor. Alrighty. Yes, it's very fancy, isn't it?
I like the red on the fins. It looks nice. On the radiator.
Yeah, how good's that?
How good's that?
The little red stripe there. The Radeon branding. How good's that? Can you get a BIOS?
Sure.
Okay. So, power on. Oh. One of the RAM sticks wasn't plugged in all the way. Here we go. Do you want to check that cable? That's very strange. Sorry, I'm going to plug a DisplayPort cable into this, which goes directly to my monitor. So I'm going to tell you, we're basically testing the graphics card at this stage. Something is amiss. I'm just going to drain the power out of the circuit there. Yep. What?
John says, hold up, wait for me, my fucking phone went flat, had to find my iPad and put the shit in the truck.
Oh.
Test bench now.
Yeah, I know.
What are you doing?
So first I'm gonna check out power connectors. We're not getting anything from this thing, are we? No. Okay. Let's have a look-sees. Oh, just one of the plugs in the back.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this looks perfect. I mean, this looks really nice. Let me just chuck a... Let's just chuck a GT 1030 in here. And let's see what happens. Haha, we have a post. Okay, let's be super thorough here, because we've got like the original BIOS on this board. So let's update the BIOS and let's try that again.
Joey says try reseating the 8-pin connector to the motherboard.
Oh, I've done that. Yeah, it was one of the first things. That was the first thing I did, was check those connectors. But yeah.
Jeremiah sent me 50 stars.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Okay, so yeah, we're going to flash a new BIOS on it. The most... Ha.
You just happened to look up while I was just like...
Yeah. Saw the alien from Men in Black.
Yeah. One of them anyway.
Because yeah, I mean this is a high-end graphics card, and it's in perfect condition, physical condition.
Shouldn't be anything wrong with it.
Shouldn't be anything wrong with it. So this graphics card doesn't have any external power. So it could be the graphics card, or it could be the power supply, but it's unlikely the RAM, CPU, or motherboard. Or it could be the motherboard. That's what we're gonna suss out here.
Hedgehog.
Okay, so we are back and we are posting. So now let's see what's going on. So with the motherboard BIOS update, it could be two things. It could be there could be an update to make it work with the 7900 XTX. The other thing it could be is the CPU, the 7800 X3D. That could also require a BIOS update on the motherboard to make it post. So this is why sometimes it can be a real pain in the ass building your own PC if you're just an amateur at home. Buy just the parts you need for the PC, because if you don't have like a spare graphics card around, you're going to be in a spot of bother trying to do what I'm doing right now. Okay. None of the pins look damaged or anything like that in the cables or the actual graphics card. All right, BIOS update. Let's see if she posts. I give us a 70% chance of posting. But it looks like we're not going to post. Bloody hell. We might have an RA on a graphics card. Fun, fun.
That's fucked up.
What? Yeah, I know. No deal. Alright. So, what we have to do now, so we know that the motherboard, the RAM, the CPU works. We've got it working on this other cheaper card. We've done the BIOS update, so we're definitely not being screwed over with that. But now we'll move over to the test bench. So different motherboard, different CPU, and different power supply. Because we could have a problem with the actual connectors on the power supply. We could also have a problem with the cables on the power supply. Okay. Power. Peripherals. And a cable. So, power on. Alright, so if we get a post here, that's an indication that we could have a bad power supply. It's not looking good, is it?
Oh.
Well, what do you know? So, bad PSU, okay. Alright, well that's going to put a bit of a spanner in the works for tonight, isn't it? Mm. So it's not the socket on the motherboard because we plugged the other card in and it works. It could be the cables.
That's the smartest idea ever. Well, dude, you gotta go home and take the ladder with you. And take it out into the water, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Okay. So our card definitely works. But do we just have a bad cable? Because if we've just got a bad cable, I might not be able to find it tonight. If it's just a bad power cable, I can replace that relatively simply, I should say. But we need some clarity on what our problem is 100%. Okay, so I believe I've plugged in a different power cable. It's all running off the one cable now. So let's see what we see. Well, that's not looking good for tonight, is it? We might have a bad power supply. Okay. Alright, let's pull the power supply out and let's double check we haven't made any stupid mistakes plugging in the cables or anything like that. So the last thing I want to do is go through the process of taking this back and returning it only to have it given straight back to me. Oh,
What?
This one looks a bit loose. Alright, before I go to the hassle of plugging that back in, alright, you ready? Have I been undone by a slightly loose cable? Ah! Look at that! Look at that. A slightly loose cable on the power supply.
That'll do it.
That'll do it. But see, it's not making a mistake, it's being able to recognise your mistake and fix your mistake. That's the key thing. Okay. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. We're building one like that soon. Alright, let's get this show on the road. Oh, there's no point putting that back on. I've got to play around with the cables and stuff. Can't believe I was undone by a loose cable. How embarrassing. No, it's good. You get people. People get to see the diagnosis process because it's all about ruling things out. You never assume anything with troubleshooting. You always rule things out. So that's the key. So if you have a problem and you're trying to sort it out yourself, rule things out. Don't assume what the problem is. You can use a little bit of intuition to understand what the problem is. You know, like if you get a blue screen with a certain code, you might know that it's your RAM or something like that. Okay, that's fine. But test things and double check things. Because what does that show you tonight? Like, if you watch back on my previous videos, I don't normally not plug in a cable right. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, you gotta do it. The thing is, if you don't do it and you try and return PC parts that are functional, it just looks very unprofessional on your part when you bring it back to the retailer or wholesaler and they test it and they're like, nah, it's fine. You don't know what you're talking about. You're just incompetent. Because that's what they're like. I've done it. I've done it like once or twice, and yeah, sometimes there'll be like a new guy there, and they don't know me. It's like, oh man, you think I'm such a shit cunt, don't you? Thanks, Josh. Okay. Alrighty, so we'll get this set up and we'll run our stress tests and all that. Well, actually tonight we're not actually going to start the stress test tonight because I gotta pull the power supply apart, put it all back in, rewire the cables, do it all up nicely and stuff like that. And I'm starting to get pretty tired, so I don't want to make any more mistakes. I'll rewire the power supply and I won't plug in something else this time.
And then we'll spend another 20 minutes.
Yeah, another 20 minutes working out what's wrong. That'll be right. Oh, there's our USB drivers. Whenever you see the mouse disappear like that when you see me installing Windows, that's the USB drivers being installed over here on the Windows update page. Oh, did you change the settings for the Radeon card?
No.
You might want to be right back, people. We just gotta turn off the HDCP. Well, we're having a nice slow night for Windows Update. set up MSI Afterburner. Oh, we can't yet. We don't have our graphics card driver. Oh. So yeah.
Cameron Queensland and AMD announced an 8900 XTX just the other day. Did they? That's news to me.
I haven't heard that. They might have. They might have though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll have to do some research and find out whether it's very different or not.
I find anything later than April this year. Okay, go on.
Mm-hmm. They're taking a page out of Nvidia's book.
They claim it's 2 times performance increase.
Oh wow.
That's what the claims say.
Yeah.
Don't try to pin me down.
All right, so tonight we're just gonna run the gaming benchmarks. We're not gonna do the stress test because I've got to like put it all back together. And yeah, I'm the sort of person who like goes to sleep and frequently wakes up in the middle of the night, and then I can't get back to sleep for a while, so I do a little bit of work. And then I go back to sleep. I think it's just a symptom, a side effect of working from home. Not having an alarm to get up to and stuff like that. My body clock just changes. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've missed anything from here. Alright, so that's nearly done. Then we can restart it. Then we can have a look and see how our 7900 XTX performs at the usual benchmarks. Alrighty, there's our 7900 XTX. Alrighty, that's all done. Now we're looking over here. It's going so slow tonight. I'm just going to push through with a restart. What's up?
My camera says I can give you some advice on how to get better sleep if you like to. My work as a sleep scientist.
Oh, really? Yeah, wow.
Bloody says MSI Center is different now or what?
No, that's a new driver install utility for people who don't know to install MSI Center. So it comes up automatically. So it makes your life a little bit easier, I guess. But yes, a lot of people don't know to, install things like the which isn't installed automatically from Windows Update. So there is a purpose to installing things like MSI Center and installing the correct driver updates there. So you might be thinking, oh, why you install Windows Update from Windows Update and from the motherboard utility? And yeah, there's some on the motherboard that aren't in Windows Update, so make sure you do both. Alrighty, so some of this stuff is going on now. And MSI Center also has the RGB utility. Alright, so a couple more things installing there. And yeah, I don't think there was anything else that we needed. Alright, so this shouldn't take too long, and then we can start running our gaming benchmarks. We gotta wait for this to be done because it'll interrupt running the benchmarks. So we've got our motherboard here, our CPU, RAM stick 1, RAM stick 2, our SSD, my SSD, the graphics card, and that's it. So we're nearly done here. Sorry, it's a bit slow. It's a bit slow this time of year because there's lots of people buying new computers because it's end of financial year. So there's a lot of people installing this shit, so the servers are overloaded. It's not my internet connection. And I can show you that it's definitely not on my end. And so this is while we're streaming.
Australia is connecting to directly to Singapore,
Oh, cool.
Jakarta, through cable networks
Sweet.
in the ocean, and deliver 40 terabits a second of internet capacity between Australia and Asia.
Sweet. That's excellent. How good's that? Faster internet. But yeah, no problem on my end. Just a bit slow everywhere else. Alrighty, so that's all done. That's done. Let's run our gaming benchmarks. Alrighty, so all this stuff on the screen. GPU 1, this is our graphics card. Temperature, usage, clock speed and wattage. MEM 1, this is our VRAM usage and clock speed. Our CPU, usage, clock speed, temperature, usage, clock speed, wattage.
Oh jeez, you need to go to bed.
I need to go to bed. RAM, and our frames per second. I'm tired. I'm ready for bed.
Poor Tim. Fluffy now. Stop it.
I'm getting stupid because I'm tired.
Mhm. You know how little kids get stupid when they're tired?
Yeah, Tim's just the same. rubber's been around for ages. Ancient rubber tree plantations in China and stuff like that. Alrighty, so that was Heaven there on high with no anti-aliasing. So pretty good frame rate. It's definitely optimized for this benchmark. Unlike Arc. Arc sucks at these benchmarks. It's alright at Heaven. The other two, it sucks. I forgot to charge the mic last night.
Oh.
So we're running low on battery charge, but we're nearly done.
Oh, I think we're already out.
Yo!
Oh no, it's working.
No, I can still see it on the screen. So yes, if the audio cuts out at the end here, I am really sorry. Alrighty, and so that was Valley there on Ultra with max anti-aliasing. And finally, we do our 4K benchmark, superposition. And this is definitely a 4K gaming benchmark. Sorry, a gaming card. I'm so tired. I've had a big day. and I don't think I'm going to be long out of bed. Okay, so that was superposition there at 4K. Alright, so yeah, like I said, we're not going to do the stress tests tonight because I've got to put it all back together, and I'm really tired, and I'm going to do it tomorrow. But it looks like everything's all good. So I'll still be able to. I can't remember whether Cameron's picking up or whether I'm shipping it to him. But either way, it'll be ready for shipping or collection tomorrow. Sweet. Alrighty, well, we can go back to full screen. I'll throw it over to anyone who's got any other final questions for me before I sign off for the night.
Don't worry, that furry thing is just fluffy now.
Yes, this is just fluffy meow. Yeah, no worries, man.
After work around 6 p.m.
Yep, sounds good. Not a problem at all. Sometimes in the morning and like early afternoon, that's when I'm like out doing things and stuff. So sometimes that's not ideal, but yeah, you can always. I work nights, so you can always pick up from me after 5 p.m. That's no problem at all. What's that? Sorry. Turn it a little bit, yeah. I really like the block on this cooler. What do you think? I reckon it looks really sharp.
Yeah, the rest of it will be put together tomorrow. It won't look so.
We've got to take, yeah, we'll do a photo shoot on this one before we box it up. What do you reckon? I like this little red racing stripe. You probably can't see it, but on the radiator there's little red stripes. Some of the fins are painted red. I reckon it's a nice little touch. So yeah, happy days. Thanks, man. Glad you like it. Alright, well, I think that might be it for tonight. So, alright, tomorrow we're going to be building two PCs. So one is like an easy one. It's just a 5600G system for a young fella. He's going to upgrade it over time, but his dad is also buying one for himself. So it's two PCs to the same customer. And because one's a 5600G, I'm going to do both of them in a night, and so I don't fall too behind this time of year because it's very busy with inquiries and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Cameron says the challenge for me now is to get that room and have it set up before my road at 8 p.m.
Yeah. How far away are you coming from? What's that?
I said we're pretty easy.
Yeah.
Flour.
Orchid flour. Oh no, you're fine, man. Yeah.
Shouldn't be.
And you live in Albion. Okay. Yeah, Albion's that's no problems. We're only about 15 minutes from the Riverside Expressway. So, yeah. You'll be fine. think that might be it for tonight. So, thanks everyone for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you all in the next video.